Welcome back to another episode of PSTV. It's your commish and your co-commish. And in the house, that's doing it
Cut,
again.
cut, 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 cut,
Yeah,
cut.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I see your desktop on the bottom,
See my
or like
desk. Oh
the
no.
oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, that's good anyways.
Yeah.
Um, let's go again. Good call out. And can I still move this way? Okay, yeah. All right, let's go again. Welcome back to another episode of PSTV. It's your commish and your co-commish. And we are in the
So,
house today for week 8's recording. So, big move happened earlier today. Co-commish, can you break it down for us? What was the trade? Who got what?
yeah, trade. Travis got Christian Kirk, and Go ended up getting 2024, getting back in that first round race. Goat King getting the 2024 first and a 2024 second. Initial thoughts, resetting the wide receiver market. I mean, I know you and Jay Molly kind of started something there with DK Metcalf seeing his worth. Christian Kirk going for a first and second. In my opinion, Christian Kirk. I mean, I guess that was a good pickup. Christian Kirk kind of has been going off, especially with whatever targets Trevor Lawrence has been able to get out. Calvin Ridley has not been doing too hot. Christian Kirk, to me, I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I don't know about you, Rojas. I think he's a wide receiver 15.
Yeah, and this would be a good time to talk about terms, but like some people say a wide receiver 2 is somebody who is the
Mm-hmm.
second wide receiver on their team. Some people call a wide receiver 2 somebody who fits in like the second tier of wide receivers. So if like in the case of our league, right, like a wide receiver 1, you might consider like a top 10 receiver because there's
Yeah.
10 teams in the league, or you might consider a top 12 receiver a wide receiver 1. So
Mm-hmm.
for our terms, to me, he's like a wide receiver 2. He's
Yeah.
not in the top 10 or 12, but he's really good.
Yeah. And then,
So
sorry, and then Jay Molly picking up Darrell Henderson in the waiver market and becoming the RB1 for the Rams.
yeah,
So,
the starting running back there, that which
yep.
is it's funny because he went and did it in all the leagues. So
He did.
he's the first one. He's had Henderson before. He knows what he's getting out of him. He's like, I'm signing up across the
Mm-hmm.
board. So I like seeing him do that. I think it was slick. Um, I like the trade for both teams. I love. I guess the one thing I want to say about that trade, I think you broke down the value and the players there, and I just want to say I like that we're finally starting to see some deals happen based
Mm-hmm.
on the path like of each
Yeah.
team, right? So like Travis trying to lean more into competing, Goat King's trying to lean out and trying to get some youth. I can't wait for more of these deals to start happening because at the beginning of the year, everybody thinks you're going to win. Shit happens and you find out, oh, all right, well, I guess I need to figure out an adjustment. So it's great value for the Goat King here to get a first and a second for a wide receiver 2. And so I'm impressed both ways. I like to see the action of trying to go in, and I like to see knowing when you can get $1.25 out of $1. So
Yeah.
I like that one there. Power rankings. So I'll start this one off. So big shakeups, and something I want to kind of get preempt with you guys with is that this is going to also be vibes. Like, I mean, of course, we factor in your win-loss record, your roster, your points for, everything goes into it. But like, you kidding yourself if you think we don't also think about vibes. And you guys will see it when we get there. Um, so at the top is Bad Wolf. And while I have a better record, I boast a better record, and I beat him head to head, his points for is like 200 points higher than mine, and his max PF is like 300 higher than mine or something like that. I mean, I can't in good faith put myself against him in terms of like the grand scheme of everything, because when his guys all hit, they hit hard too. You guys saw mine hit hard this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I still got to go lean him there. If I start to get a little more consistent with the big hits, then maybe I can go up top because I got the wins to match it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we settled in that way with 1 and 2. I will say though, Kokamish was trying to gas me up.
Dude, if we're adding vibes, bro, your team right now
Yeah,
is
if
on the highest spectrum in terms of the best fucking vibes for your team right now.
yeah, I'm man, the vibes are there. Like vibes are
Yeah.
almost enough to do it alone. Like, all right, we got to move on because I'm getting pulled back. Um, Rounding out the rest of the power ranks, we're gonna have Nish, Travis, auto drafting, and then Chili Bowl. So a little bit about why 3, 4, and 5 got. I mean, really, all of these. I'm gonna say the reason these got sorted out the way they did was partially record and partially momentum. Because for example, auto drafting has a better record than Travis, but Travis's points for and points against are way higher, like variance. Like they're
Mhm.
like he's just scoring more and getting scored more against. And if we play the season out 100 times, I think he's always most of the time going to finish with a better record than auto drafting. So I want to factor that in here. But Nish is pretty close in PF, so I felt comfortable still giving him the nod with his record. Um, Chili Bowl, though. The fall from grace all the way down from 2. And I mean, Kokamish, what this is probably the one we're going to talk about the most. We saved all of our breath for this day because we before every other week we were like, oh, it's Chili Bowl. It's just Chili
He's
Bowl.
his
He's
auto.
just
He's an
yeah,
auto pick.
auto
He's
pick
auto
number
one.
one.
Like
We don't waste any breath on this because we don't have to think twice. We have to think twice now. And what are the vibes like
started.
right now?
I mean, not good, man. Like Justin Jefferson out at least for the next 4 weeks, right? I mean, he's gonna come back. He's projected to come back, but watching like the fantasy doctors, and it seems like it could even go up to a week 6 through week 8 injury potentially. Haven't been monitoring that because I don't really have him in another league. But started off JJ, the next Olave speeding, bro. Like I'm sure he'll be fine.
Dude, and getting caught and then being like, I play for the Saints, bro. I'm like, no, bad
Dude,
vibes, bad
bad
vibes.
vibes. And then Devontae Adams, dude, like he'll have Jimmy Garoppolo back, but right now Jacoby Myers is outplaying Devontae Adams as the wide receiver one.
Yeah,
Just and then Herbie last week. I mean, granted, I think this is more the Chiefs having a solid defense, but still bad vibes all around. I know I have Justin Herbert in a different league, and I know that bitch has been throwing a fucking pick every fucking game, and it's been annoying. So if you're up by one, just assume that he's gonna throw a pick by the end of the week because if they're coming back, he's overthrowing, but that's neither here nor there. But Chili Bowl, bad vibes all around. He has
yeah.
a solid team.
I'm
Damn.
I'm there with you. It's like the team is so good, but like, what is it? You figure maybe it's
Yeah.
variance, right? Because like Tony Pollard hasn't been scoring touchdowns. Devontae
hmm
Adams in a while hasn't been scoring touchdowns.
Did we
Saquon's
mention
back.
Wilson?
Wilson's not well. Wilson may not score touchdowns because the Jets aren't going to score touchdowns with Zach Wilson.
Mhm.
Um, but like like I'd be interested to see. Like is it variance or is it like maybe these guys aren't in the roles we thought they would be in the preseason?
Mhm.
Because man, it just looks night and day right now, and
Yeah.
it's hard to keep Chili Bowl high up in the rankings when things are going the way they're going right now. Like I don't think he's the sixth best team in the league, but it feels like it. So
Yeah.
right now he's gonna sit at 6, and um, we'll see about next week. All right, matchups and pick'ems. Kokamish is clairvoyant. He keeps fucking getting it right. Well above 500. I think you're like yeah, I'm doing like whatever math, but you're like
Quick maths.
above 2/3 still. Like you're like damn, you're guessing like a maniac right now. So I I mean, we're on the same page here. I think the league is starting to take form, because we're pretty consistent on who we picked. So we'll just go
Mhm.
down the line. We'll go back and forth and tee us up for the first matchup
Yeah, you got Goat and Chubb, a potential shit bowl playing for last
preview. Yeah,
place. I think right now
starving for
it'll
Marvin.
starving for Marvin. And right now the matchup, I guess we have Goat winning it. The reason why I have Goat, they both have shitty running backs. Or sorry, they both have shitty QBs. I don't really trust any of them. I think it comes down to their what was it? Their wide receivers. I think Goats wide receivers are a little bit underrated, and I believe Little Chubbs are overrated with Pickens. He's going to lose that production. Evans against the Bills, I don't see that doing too well. Eagles recently picked up another safety to help out in that secondary. So McLaurin's definitely going to be struggling. And the Texans, I think, have a better secondary, and I think they're going to cover Thielen. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of picking GOAT to win that. And on top of that, I'm trying to take into account that is Little Chubb just obviously we're not tanking here in this league, like we're
He
avoiding it.
he can't. He doesn't have his own pick.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even have the pick.
Nah, he traded that to
So
Nish, so he needs to figure out how to get
how to
in the
get it
driver's seat.
back or yeah, get something going. Cause
Either get your pick back or start trading for some more players, because there's no
mhm,
reason for you to try to tank
yeah.
without your pick, or get different ones. I mean, you can go get a different
Hmm.
pick, and maybe it's not yours, but
Yeah.
man, it's dicey
So
right now.
really I chose GOAT, but now having that information, I might tilt
Well, Goat
because
doesn't have his own pick either.
oh no shit, I thought he had his pick too.
Nah, dude.
What are y'all doing?
Well, I gotta say, everybody
Yeah, yeah.
was a contender week one,
At some
and
point.
so
Jeez. All right.
well,
Well then, I mean, I guess they're each gonna play for something, and
yes,
Go, I think, needs to make sure that his team performs. And I think with the rise of Raji, rise of Jordan Addison, I think he has the and Jonathan Taylor. I think he has a team that's gonna hopefully start performing and beat and starting off with Little Chubb.
I go with Goat as well, and I do like some of Chubb's players. Like, I do think he's going to get some consistency out of McLaurin, Waller, and Thielen at the back half of his starting lineup. But for all the reasons you already said, I would still
Hmm.
think we're just going to go a little higher on Goat's side.
Yeah.
Next matchup would be yours against auto drafting. Now, I made my pick before you set your lineup.
Hmm.
Now that it got set, though, I'm feeling a little different about it. Um,
What you talking about? What
I'm
you talking
gonna
about with this?
I'm gonna pick you. So here here
Live
so
tilt?
like live tilt, but also like I've been worried about auto drafting's team. The depth is not there. And now the starting lineup is starting to get taken apart too. Because
Hmm.
Jerry Judy's falling apart. Steve Smith calling him out, calling him a bum. Um, Evan Ingram's fine, but Bretton Strange is playing a lot more. Dotson, where is he? What the fuck happened?
Dude.
He's running routes. He's participating in the offense, and just Sam Howell's, you know, got blinders on. He just cannot see Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson anywhere. Reed might come back with Watson's injury. We'll see. But that's like that's 4 to 5 starting players that I'm like, you could get zeros.
Yeah.
And then if I look at your side, I don't see zeros. I see guys who, have harder matchups, like Chase against San Francisco, even though they just got lit up.
Hmm.
I see Nico Collins against Carolina. Not that they're a good defense, but like they might run a lot. So I see
Yeah.
that, but I'm gonna choose talent. I'm going on your side. But why would you go the other way besides trying to jinx yourself into winning?
I'm going the other way because I think they're going to need Henry this week. Devontae Smith bounce back week. I think his four players, they're solid. Mahomes just went for 35, and that might be all he needs this week. I have CJ Stroud. I don't get me wrong, I'm on that Stroud train right now. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid even after Kirk Cousins just went off again, and he's probably playing a weaker Green Bay defense. And I'm playing CJ Stroud because I am on that fucking train. And even if I am on that train, I don't think he's gonna get close to what Mahomes is gonna do against Denver. He can easily light them up with his legs, and you know that's a possibility with Mahomes. And then you have CMC. He does have that oblique injury, but it doesn't. Based on last week, it doesn't seem like that's affecting him much. And with against the Bengals, you're going to have to run against them because right now Purdy and that passing game with just Ayuk and no Debo, it's looking a little rough. And then King Henry, if he doesn't get traded, which I'm assuming he's not. There hasn't been any speculation out there. But against Atlanta, I think their secondary has been doing a lot better than their run defense. And who's going to start with potentially Ryan Tannehill out? So that's why I have the slight edge on Huddle just because of that. And obviously, I don't want to.
And the anti-jinx. Yeah.
Yeah, and the anti-check. But at the same time, if we are going based on vibes, if you notice my trajectory on the points against, man, I am
Yeah.
what I think top two there in terms,
You're
or
number one in points
I'm
against, I
number
think.
one on points against. Like it's rough. I think my team is a little bit better than what I'm showing at number 7. I was at 10, I think, last week, but
Okay. No, I get you.
yeah,
It's
I guess
another
that's
point
where
in the
it's at.
favor.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. Let's
Don't get me wrong.
quick through
I'm.
the next
Go.
three.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's quick through the next three. And with my matchup and Jay Molly, we're both picking me.
Hmm.
So I don't want to really get into the whole shebang because I'm projected a pretty significant amount.
Yeah.
But what do you think needs to happen for Jay Molly to win?
Bijan needs to not be sick. Like,
Damn, it starts
is
there.
that headache chronic?
Yeah.
Is DK Metcalf in? Those two really. Um, DK can always go off, but even against Cleveland, it's going to be really tough. They might even bench him. Brandon Ayuk needs to fucking go off. Um, and I guess that's what it comes down to. Even then, you're playing a
It's
rookie in Meyer who hasn't really been doing too hot. DJ Moore, hot and cold. Can Bilbo Badgett get it done? Uh, and I think you have a safer floor. That's yeah.
he's got tough matchups, so the talent needs to beat
Hmm.
the matchups. They're really tough
Yeah,
matchups.
yeah.
So next up, Chili Bowl versus Travis. This one, these next two are interesting. I would say for this one, I'm going to go Travis. The vibes is one thing, but also there's tough matchups across the board. I worry, is Olave
Hmm.
going to be there? Is he going to get an NFL suspension? Is Hawkinson injured? Those are making me lean enough to Travis. That's the things I'm keying in on. What about you?
Yeah, I'm leaning Travis for the same reasons. Is Justin Herbert going to continue struggling? He could go off. Is Jalen Hurts injured? I don't think so. He seemed fine. And I think Eagles are running on such a hot streak that I think you can rely on them going off week after week. Swift, AJ, Hurts, they're all going to get work in. And then now you have the addition of Christian Kirk and solidifying that floor of Travis's. I think he takes it.
All right.
Olave, Adams have not been doing work. Pollard questionable, and he's now against facing Aaron Donald. Tough break for Chile.
Tough break indeed. And then the last
Mhm.
thing we're trying to break down is Nish versus Bad Wolf.
Should be
Here
good.
it's going to be a great matchup. I'm leaning Bad Wolf. I I New England has not been the same defense, but you just wonder if this is going to be the game where they put it together.
They did it last week against Josh Allen.
And so they could do it here. You know, it's an interdivisional matchup. But because of that, also is Roshan coming back. Jacobs hasn't been hitting. Watson's injured. I have more question marks on Nish's side than I do on Bad Wolves. I'm going Bad Wolves.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Is Roshan back? Waddle, is he going to play? He had the back issue, and Watson. I mean, he had a pretty bad knee injury, so that's where I'm at as well. If they play, we're talking about a closer matchup potentially, but I'm leaning Bad Wolf as of today's recording.
All right, man. Well, that's it for the podcast this week, guys. Let us know if you guys have any, feedback or like the show. But any last words, Kokamish?
Just like, subscribe, and follow.
Follow us. Peace.
Peace.